John Fetterman. Um, Again, I got nothing against that guy either, but I have to laugh when people talk about him as a presidential candidate. I just think the personal struggles and challenges that he have seems to me to make it very hard to imagine him running a campaign for president. New York Magazine has a big piece that's based to some extent on this guy Adam Jettleson, who used to work for Harry Reid, was Fetterman's chief of staff, and quit with a bunch of other people. It was reported because they thought he was too moderate. Steve, do you know this Adam Jettleson person?
I have met Adam Johnson, yes.
Yeah. Is he a friend of yours?
No, he's an acquaintance.
Okay. So, big debate in my universe about whether it's appropriate to work for a politician and then leave and then talk to a reporter and reveal things about the principal's marriage, their relationship with their doctor. A lot of controversy here on that score. And John Fetterman was asked about the article today, and it puts him. It basically suggests that he is fragile, that his health and mental health are such that that he's a fragile person. And Fetterman has said things like this, but Fetterman does not like the article. Here's John Fetterman, number 11, reacting to reporters' questions about this New York Magazine piece.
Yeah, no one's ever seen that. It's a one source story with a couple anonymous sources. Hit piece from a very left publication. There's really nothing more to say about that.
He said he was worried that you're not taking your medications. Are you taking your medications, sir?
Again, a hit piece, anonymous source.
So just so you know, the video was, for some reason, was that way. It looks like he's a Batman or Robin walking up the wall. But leaving that distraction aside, interesting to me, Steve, that he said left-wing publication. That's not something you would normally hear a Democrat say.
Well, look, one, I don't think John Fetterman's running for president. Just as I said on your earlier show, Mark, I don't think the Democratic nominee for president will come from Washington in 2028.
Yeah.
I think it might come from another state, maybe from Pennsylvania, but it would be the governor, not a senator. Two, I've thought for a long time, and this is true in both parties, this habit of staff, and I'm a believer in staff should be staff, and I was a staff person for a long time, of going out and writing books or talking to the media about what they learned behind the scenes with elected officials. It's just unseemly, it's unnecessary, it's a bunch of people who are trying to make it about them, not about the person who they're supposed to be serving in government. And, I just think it's too bad. Fetterman obviously has a lot of challenges. He's very open about the challenges. The voters of Pennsylvania will get a chance at some point to pass a test on that. But I don't think that just because one staff person mouthed off to a magazine, whatever the magazine is, and I read New York Magazine a lot, that it's something we ought to be paying a lot of attention to.
Yeah, Beverly.
I hope he struggles finding a job after this, because I completely agree. This is not what you do when you've worked with someone. This is a job of reporters to go in and try to dig into that information and break stories. I wish more people broke stories about Joe Biden, his mental decline. But when you're in the inner circle and then you go out and do this type of thing, I hope it's hard for him to get a job. That's just 101. You don't do this. It's a no-no, and it ruins your reputation. I agree. I don't think he's ready for president. The reason, though, why I think his name is in the ring is because he does appear moderate, whether it's his stance on Israel or he's willing to go against the Democrat Party in certain areas. I think people are worried about the AOCs, the Bernie Sanders being too progressive and not having somebody middle of the road. But I don't think he has the stamina. I don't think he has the wardrobe to run as president, my own opinion.
Are you guys not struck? I'm not trying to force you to agree with me, but are you not struck by a Democrat impugning the validity of accuracy, credibility of a publication by saying it's left wing? I never heard a Democrat do that. I find it humorous.
I think it's interesting. I think it goes in lockstep with what we've seen with John Fetterman, in that he surprises me quite often. Yeah. So it's just part of his brand. And
like when he ran for the nomination against Connor Lamb in Pennsylvania for the Senate seat, he was considered like the Bernie Sanders candidate. He was considered like the far left candidate. And now here he is saying, well, you can't believe New York Magazine because it's too left.
I think he was helped a lot by something else we've talked about before, Mark, which is authenticity. I think the guy radiates a lot of authenticity. I don't personally like the way he dresses. I just sort of feel like U.S. senators should put on a suit. I don't know,
Yeah.
but he certainly comes across as very authentic and real.
Yeah. And someone's pointing out that's one of your famous 3 A's, authenticity that benefits Donald Trump. I have to say, that famous line, if you can fake authenticity, you got it made. I used to watch when John Kerry was running for president and Bill Clinton would speak at his events. I would watch Kerry study Clinton because you could tell Kerry's like, well, here's the master. Let me study it. If I were running for president in whatever party, I would study Fetterman. Not that he can fake his authenticity or be what him, but everybody says that about him. And it's just fascinating to see where it comes from. Obviously, the clothes for some people, but it's more than that, right? It's his word choice. It's his reaction to things, his ability to walk straight up in the air. It's very authentic stuff. They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.